Hey guys, this is Kamikano, and today I am doing a video breaking down the Marvel Solicits, which did come out later in the later half of last week. So now I'm breaking down the titles I'm most excited for, or just feel like I have something to say about. And the Solicits definitely was very Heroes Reborn heavy, so if you're excited for that event, we get somewhat information about it, and all I kind of know about it is that it looks like they're definitely taking some influence from DC Comics, and the Squadron Supreme is going to be a big set of characters there because of the whole DC Comics comparison. But overall, it's interesting to see that this is being pushed so hard at Marvel, and I guess my question is going to be, will it affect the main universe? Is just a fun mashup type series, like, oh, see Miss Marvel in a new costume and a new background for, you know, Nova's character. I'm curious to see how much it will matter, like a King in Black or even an Empire and these type of titles. Will it be affecting other titles, or is it just like this kind of one-off fun story to tell? I mean, I'm sure it will affect titles. It does seem like the Avengers Phoenix story is going to be connected to it, but right now it's not really calling my name, so I'm not as invested so far, but I will at least try out that first issue. The two miniseries that I was interested in when looking through the Heroes Reborn stuff was Young Squadron issue 1, which is Champions related, just because it seems like they're changing the characters a lot, so I think someone ends up being Falcon on that team. So I'm like, okay, that mismatch is interesting. And then the Amazing Shutterbug, which is a Spider-Man book where he ends up just being like a Jimmy Olsen character. So I'm like, okay, that sounded cool, because usually Spider-Man's taking pictures of himself, you know, being in the position of being a Jimmy Olsen character. How will that change things? Will he literally just be like Jimmy Olsen? And I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I'm obviously going to pick that one up. So moving into some of the newer titles here, we got X-Corp issue 1, another X-Men book coming out. This one's actually was promised months ago before COVID, and there was delays, and now finally the book's coming out. I gotta say, I'm not too invested in this one, though. We got Angel and more of this corporation side of the X-Men, and I'm like, I don't really know if that boardrooms will really interest me. I might give the first issue a try, depending on what I hear about it, but there's a lot of X-Men titles out there now, and I'm just like, all right, does every X-Men have to have a book? I don't know. I don't know if this one's going to be completely necessary, but who knows? Maybe it'll connect to something. But not really invested in that. Now, this is interesting. Fantastic Four issue 32, we're getting, I think, close to an anniversary issue. And Dr. Doom's getting married. Human Torch has to kind of realize who he loves, as well as ex-wife comes back into the picture. Crystal's back in the picture. I'm very invested in this family drama, and I want to know who Dr. Doom is marrying, so I am excited to see the direction for the Fantastic Four, and glad Dr. Doom's in it, because we haven't seen him in a while, and I think this is a rightful place for him. But let me know in the comments below, who do you think Dr. Doom is marrying? Another Fantastic Four story is Life Story issue 1. I love Spider-Man Life Story. I thought it was a very interesting twist on Spider-Man, and there's a lot of twists and turns in that book, and I hope we get the same thing for Fantastic Four and how that shapes the family and the relationships with each other throughout the decades. So obviously it starts out with the 60s, and I will definitely be reading this one. I believe Mark Russell's writing this, and I'm a huge fan of his writing, especially Second Coming. So I'm curious to see if he's going to bring his satire to this book as well, especially his political satire. Next is Reptil, and this is a Avengers Academy character, and why I'm talking about this is supposedly he's going to be a big Marvel hero. He's going to be a big character for Marvel. There's going to be some big revelations, I guess, in his book. Definitely didn't expect it from his character. I do like Avengers Academy, and I don't really remember much about the character, though, so I'll give this one a shot. I'm a huge fan of teen heroes, so we'll see exactly what direction they're going and why Marvel says he's going to be such a big hero. Next up is the Amazing Spider-Man, and we got the Kingpin story is continuing. It looks like the supporting characters are getting a little bit more story. So Boomerang's back. It's been a while since we've gotten those characters. I'm not invested in this Kingpin story, but I'm hoping we get a little bit more, like I said, from the secondary characters and a little bit more of the character drama, honestly, that more than even like the villains, because right now I don't think the villains have been that strong in the series. Moving on to the Mighty Valkyries issue 2, what really got, well, first of all, I love Jane Foster, so already I'm invested in this series, but the artwork looks gorgeous for this book, but also Kraven being in this is going to be interesting. Why is Jane fighting Kraven? But that cover definitely gets me excited for that, and I'm excited for that matchup. Moving on to Spider-Man, Spider-Shadows, and honestly, the cover looks interesting. So this one is if Peter Parker became Venom, pretty much, and it's Mary Jane with a butcher knife or like a kitchen knife, and she's around the corner, scared of Venom, and of course, if you know Mary Jane's history, she does not like Venom very much, and she's been haunted by this creature. So to have that connection, obviously be attached to Peter Parker, I think there could be some really interesting character work there. And if that cover says anything, it looks like an interesting book. Next up is Thor and Loki Double Trouble issue 3. The only reason I'm talking about this, first of all, Mariko Tamaki, I'm a huge fan of her work, but then also Jane Foster showing up. So I will most likely at least just get this issue because I need some Jane Foster. I want to see how she'll be different in this kind of more cartoonier world. Then going on to Runaways issue 36, which there's not much to say because literally the cover spoils the whole story. So I'm like, no, I want to see my Runaways solicit, but at the same time, it looks like things are going to be so exciting for the book, and the book's always exciting, so I'm not surprised by that. So very excited for that one. Moving on to Black Widow, I've really been loving Black Widow, and this one we're seeing her in San Francisco. She has a new mission. I'm just really excited to see the new costume. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it in last issue, but see that in action, see the direction for the book, because the first arc was just a prelude to, I'm guessing, what the bigger picture of this series will be. And if that's just a prelude, then I can't wait for chapter 1 because, damn, that prelude was really good. Moving on to Daredevil issue 30, I've been really enjoying this series since Elektra became Daredevil, and I like that the book keeps splitting both Daredevil and Elektra's story, and, for Matt fans, they're getting their fill, but you're also getting to see, Elektra be Daredevil and what that means to her. So I've been really enjoying the new direction of the series. And then we have the Immortal Hulk Time of Monsters issue 1. The reason I want to mention this is just I think it's really cool that we're getting to see one-shots of the Immortal Hulk and seeing different directions for it. Also, it seems like Bruce Banner is not the first Hulk. So this is might change things for the Hulk, might be a really important issue for maybe spec readers to read. I don't love that Marvel keeps wanting to change the past and be like, okay, now the whole Phoenix situation we've been getting. So to see this with Hulk, I don't know, but I've been loving Immortal Hulk so much, and I love the changes they've made to Immortal Hulk through that I have confidence that this will be an interesting story. Also, in the regular Immortal Hulk series, we got to see Betty back, so I'm very excited to see Betty back. I love her, and she's been missing for a little while, so it's kind of cool to see the supporting characters back there. But those are all the titles I wanted to highlight. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your titles that you're most looking forward to and you want to speculate about. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed This Is Comic Uno. Definitely follow my Twitter and Facebook. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video. It really helps the channel. And go check out my comics like Father Like Daughter and They Call Her a Dancer. And every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is Comic Book Weekly, where we discuss all our favorite comics and comic book news. Thanks, guys. Bye.